Welcome back to the channel, where today's case is a wild ride through the justice system. We've got Trusty Butcher in front of the court. Yes, that's really her name. Facing probation violations, fresh charges, and a judge who's clearly running out of patience. Imagine being on probation for burglary, then stacking on new cases, all while pregnant and battling addiction. This courtroom session is packed with contradictions, high emotions, and a judge who is not holding back. Stick around, because by the end, you'll see just how far the justice system is willing to go when second chances are thrown away.
7, I've received the updated report. This was not agreed. Has everyone received that and reviewed the report?
We have, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Are there any additions or corrections?
No, Your Honor. Not from this one.
And what is this, it might say here? The new cases out of Harris County,
She was placed on
probation, right?
probation and sent to the Santa Maria Rehabilitation Facility.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And that's true, Judge. She was sent to Santa Maria through probation at Harris County.
Here's where the defense attorney steps in, painting Trusty as someone who truly wants help, pointing out her pregnancy, her young child, and her willingness to return to rehab. But notice something here. The defense is leaning heavily on intentions rather than actions. It's one thing to say you want help, it's another to follow through. Question for you. Do you think the judge should give more weight to her words of wanting rehab, or her actions of leaving the facility and picking up new charges?
She's pregnant right now, and the facility is the facility that will allow her to bring her 3-year-old with her, as well as she will keep the newborn once that newborn is she's giving birth. And she does want the help that Santa Maria can provide, and she's willing to go back there, and that's what she wants the newborn to be once he's born or she is born. As far as what she wants to do with her life, she told me she had worked in the healthcare industry in the past, and she wants to go get her CNA licensing, and she wants to continue doing that when she gets out. She does have a letter she wants to read to you, Judge, and I think appropriate time she wants to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Dear Honor, I have been in jail since April 29, 2025. I left the rehab because I wanted to come back here to turn myself in.
Let me just stop you real quick right there, because the officer called Santa Maria, and the people at Santa Maria, according to what that officer put in this report, said that you left the facility because you changed your mind.
I did not.
Hang on. Quote, Santa Maria is not the best option for me at this time.
This is the first big contradiction. The rehab facility said she left because Santa Maria isn't the best option right now. But she insists she only left because of outstanding warrants. This is classic courtroom drama. The battle of credibility. Who do you believe? The structured rehab staff who documented her departure, or the defendant who has every reason to rewrite history? This is a crucial moment because the judge is already skeptical, and honesty is key when you're asking for mercy.
You found out you were pregnant in March,
Yeah.
and then you went and committed an evading arrest with a vehicle, a duty on striking an unattended vehicle, and an aggravated assault against a public servant a month later after you found out you were pregnant?
I was on drugs, Your Honor.
While you were pregnant?
Yeah.
Wow, this is where it hits hard. Trusty admits she was using drugs even after learning she was pregnant. This is the type of admission that completely changes the tone of a hearing. Judges are not just thinking about the defendant, they're thinking about that unborn child. At this point, the courtroom is balancing justice, public safety, and child protection all in one. Be honest. Would you still push for rehab here? Or is prison time inevitable?
Drugs.
Yeah. I need help, and Santa Maria is a good place, and they'll offer me mental health service, and I have an autoimmune disease that they offer treatment for. Jefferson County hasn't been giving me the medication for it. And since I've been here 52 days. They haven't given me any medication, so my baby can. Yeah. I don't want to say it out loud, but it is, but I caught a charge. I don't want to be separated from my baby, Your Honor. This is my.
So in that time, hold on. So you had left the facility at least by April 17th.
Yes,
And then your new charges were April 29th.
yes,
So that's 12 days
Yes.
of waiting on a bus and catching a
I
charge.
didn't have the money, so I got the money together to catch the bus back out here, the Greyhound. And once I got the money, the day I was going downtown, I got arrested for trying to evade the police because I was on drugs. I was scared and I was on drugs.
So all the times that you failed to report to the probation office, March 7th, March 10th, and there was a third one,
March 12th.
March 12th, April 10th.
I
So
never knew I had all those dates after the 7th. After the 7th, I thought I was revoked already. After the first time I did report, I thought I had a warrant out for my arrest, and I went to the rehab.
but you talked to the probation officer
I
between
talked to
then,
her on the 7th.
and you talked to her ugly.
I got out of jail in March 6th in Harris County.
Mhm.
I called her dad.
This part shows a clear pattern. Missing probation meetings, blaming confusion, and then admitting she was using drugs during the entire time. When you're on probation, one of the top rules is compliance. Missing meetings is bad enough. Missing them while high and pregnant? That's almost guaranteed to push a judge toward revocation. This is where the case shifts from maybe she deserves another chance to she's had every chance and wasted them.
I need the help that Trina Maria offers. I don't want to be separated from my kid any longer. My 3-year-old was with my friend, and I want to be handled at home with me. I want to be able to see my kids with me and get the help I need mentally and with the drugs.
So where do you actually live?
I live on.
The judge is now digging into her living situation, and the contradictions just keep piling up. First, she says she has a house in Port Arthur, but probation notes say she was homeless. Now she claims probation assumed she was homeless. These shifting stories are dangerous. Judges hate inconsistencies, because if you can't even be straight about where you live, how can they trust you to comply with probation rules? Notice how the judge's patience is starting to thin here.
When I was there, it's up to, you can stay up to 18 months.
Mr. Smith?
Judge, I spoke with Misty Hoffman, who's an assistant DA in Harris County, before they sent her to the Santa Maria program. They were thinking about doing that, and she tried to explain to me what it was, and I explained to her our intention was not to keep her on probation, it was to seek a revocation. I think everything that she has said up to this point kind of lends credence to the fact that probation is, she's not going to be successful on probation. I think even today you can see that she gets, according to the PSI, becomes impatient, easily irritated, argumentative, and confrontational. She's been non-compliant basically since she started in on probation and has made no progress and has no plan. This is the first that we've heard that she even has a residence in Port Arthur. We had no idea that she had any kind of residence in Jefferson County. She didn't have one prior to this, so I don't even know whose house this is.
So here's the thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Talking over people,
Sorry.
being confrontational with your probation officer is not going to get you anywhere. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you have, what's the place in Port Arthur that you have to live?
It's the home. It's a house.
Whose house?
It's my house. I've been renting it
Since when?
since before I got on rehab. I've been using the same address.
Well, but
Before I got probation.
but you told probation that you didn't come back here. Hold on, because you were homeless.
I've never been homeless.
You said that in the original pre-sentence
No,
report.
I told her I was at a motel and she had assumed I was homeless, but I'm not homeless.
But originally, when I put you on probation,
I gave y'all 1825 17th Street, which is where I live.
if you had a residence here in Jefferson County and you were on probation here in Jefferson County, then why didn't you come back here when you got out like you were supposed to?
I tried to come back and I did come back. I didn't report because I thought I had a warrant out. I thought I was revoked already.
So
I
you
know
were
how
just going to
this
wait it
works.
out until they came and caught you.
came to turn myself in and I got arrested. I was going to turn myself in.
Everything you're saying is conflicting because you're
I'm here. I'm here.
yeah, you're here in custody and you're just you I think you've told so many lies to everybody that you don't know how to keep up with them.
It's no lie, ma'am.
It's,
I was
it's
in Houston. I came back and
You-
I came back March 7th. I was here. I didn't report. I was on drugs.
so you were already here March 7th.
I was here March 7th. I was here. And then she told me to come in.
So there's no reason on March 7th that you couldn't have, you were talking to her about needed a bus and all this stuff. That was all just lying back then.
No, I was in Harris County. I got here March 6th. She told me to report March 7th.
So if you were here March 7th.
Yes. Your Honor, I was on drugs.
Our jail reports to the jury.
Can you please give me the help that I need and let me keep my kids?
I'll put you on probation.
This is the emotional climax. Trusty begging not to be separated from her children, admitting past drug use, even revealing she lost a previous pregnancy due to addiction. This moment is heartbreaking, but it's also telling. The judge reminds her that probation was already designed to give her help. And instead of seizing that lifeline, she picked up more felonies. It's the ultimate clash between sympathy for her struggles and accountability for her choices. Would you still show compassion here or agree with the judge that enough is enough?
That was part of some plea agreement. You still got arrested for
Yes,
3
ma'am.
felonies, serious felonies. Not just little stuff, not a possession case.
Your Honor, please, I do not want to be a felon. I can't completely.
Well, quit committing felonies.
Yes, ma'am. That's because of the drugs. Then I lost a baby last year. I had a stillborn at 7 months pregnant because of drugs. I need help with drugs and rehabilitation.
Maybe you need to stop getting pregnant for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like one of the jail incidents.
If there was any last chance, this destroyed it. Reports show she assaulted another inmate, threw a bar of soap at a corrections officer, and even tried to swing on one. Judges look at this as a preview of how someone will behave if given freedom. Again, if she can't follow rules in jail, how could she possibly succeed in a rehab program outside? At this point, the case is no longer about just helping her. It's about protecting others.
So why did you refuse to go to the hospital when you fell?
Because I was feeling okay and I had a doctor's appointment coming up. I was going to tell her. The last time I told my slipped and fell, they didn't do anything in the jail, so I was gonna wait till I go to my doctor's appointment.
But they wanted you to go to the hospital to get checked out.
I didn't know they wanted me to go to the hospital. They just had me sitting in the infirmary.
So You supposedly said you fell, you were refusing to go to the hospital. They told you the doctor wanted you to go to the hospital. You said that you would go, but asked if you could go back to your dorm first. And they said, we're not doing all that back and forth. You asked if you would be transported via van or EMS. They said, don't worry about that. Then you said, I refuse. I'm not going to the hospital.
That's when I went. I talked to Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim told me whatever was wrong, I could tell the doctor when I went to the doctor. So that's what I was waiting on.
So they're making it up that that doctor wanted you to go to the hospital.
They wanted me to go, and I told them I wasn't going to wait until.
So, but that makes me, you're not taking care of yourself and your baby.
My baby is fine.
How do you know? If you fell and hit your head and they wanted you to go get checked out at the hospital, then how do you know she's fine? He's fine. You don't know.
Now the judge questions her refusal to go to the hospital after allegedly falling while pregnant. To the judge, this isn't just defiance, it's negligence. If you can't put your child's health first while in custody, how can the court believe you will outside? This moment seals the perception that Trusty prioritizes excuses over accountability. The courtroom tension is at a breaking point, and you can sense the hammer about to drop.
All right, Miss Butcher. Sorry we made you wait so long. I hear that you were a little disappointed in that in the back.
I'm scared. I've never been in prison.
Yeah, well, based on everything that I've already said, based on the fact that you stood here and told different stories about every single thing you said, based on the fact that you've already lost a baby and you're lucky you didn't lose this one, and who knows what's going to happen with this one because you were using drugs, based on the fact that you got felonies while you were on a felony probation, based on the fact that this lady here was trying to help you. You already left the place that you were given an opportunity to go to. Does probation have anything else to add, Ms. Core?
Judge, just that I'm really concerned about the non-compliances she's had at the jail.
Same.
I'm really concerned.
So here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Butcher, in cause number 24, DCCR 1732. I feel like you've given me no choice but to make sure that your child and children are safe and that the community's safe. I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. In 24 DCCR 1732, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of burglary of a habitation. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 10 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. In cause number 24 DCCR 1733, I'm going to find those counts true, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of unauthorized use of a vehicle, sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to need that signed. These cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time.
Why would you separate me from my kids?
You separated yourself from your
It's
kid.
my first time being in prison.
Let me tell you,
I've been in jail
listen,
4 months.
I got 10 more years I can add. Hold on. You're not going anywhere. Hold on. You're not done.
That's not right.
I'm handing you the trial court certification. You had chances. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was not an agreement. You do have some rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Rojas about that. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas.
And there it is, the ruling. 10 years for burglary, 2 years for unauthorized use of a vehicle, running concurrently. The judge makes it crystal clear. This wasn't about taking her kids, it was about her own choices and failures on probation. The key takeaway? Courts can be patient, but probation is a privilege, not a right. When you waste it, the consequences are steep. So, what do you think? Was the judge too harsh, or was this the only option left? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.